Hey, my Rainbow Cupcakes, it's me, Annette Dancer here. I want to talk about my experiences from Disney. Well, I'm in my pajamas still because I need to take a shower and get dressed, and I just don't feel like doing that yet because I wanted to make this video first. So, because nobody's home except me right now, so also, if this hand and wrist seems a bit weird, I dislocated a bone in this wrist and I got it fixed by my chiropractor. So, if that's if this wrist seems a bit weird or off, it does hurt. Uh yeah, I had it fixed gently. Anyway, so you might need to get it looked at again, but I'm gonna be doing that anyway. So if this wrist is a bit weird, please excuse it. I dislocated it. Thank you. Anyway, so we get to Disney. So, yeah, because the airport experience, both ends were different. The airport in New York where I live, not the city, because that annoys me when people assume that I'm from the city when clearly I don't sound like I'm from the city, do I? No. I'm from the state of New York, not the city of New York. There is a difference. Thank you. Anyway, so the airport where I live in New York, they had a sign saying that they support hidden disabilities, right? And as you know, I am autistic and I do also have a hand tremor, which is genetic from my grandma, so there's nothing more to it than that. And of course, I have the problems with my wrists, where, they're just weaker than they should be because of something I was because of how I was born or something. There's just the bones are weird in there and it's causing weakness or something. I don't know. And then I dislocated this one. This happened like this week. So this happened on Monday. So we don't count that right now anyways. But as you know, I am a disabled woman. 25 years old. I am a woman. A young woman, probably, because I'm young. But, oh yeah, I also got a cold from Disney. Sorry for that little pause cut. There was some phlegm in my mouth, and I didn't want to do that on camera. I had to go and, spit that out. I didn't want to do that on camera. That would be disgusting. Nobody would want to see that. Anyways, I still have some remaining phlegm in there from the cold I had from kids in Disney. But anyways, so the the airport here in New York was a horrible experience. They said they support hidden disabilities, yet they clearly did not support mine. We told them I was autistic, and they still yelled at us, demanded to pat us down. Over Heinz ketchup, mind you, which is the only ketchup I'll eat because that's the only good ketchup, because all other ketchup sucks. Hate my opinion, I don't care. It's my opinion, therefore it's accurate. And just like your opinion's accurate, everybody's opinions are accurate because they're opinions. But anyway, Heinz ketchup is the only good ketchup. So my mom was bringing the bottles, and they literally had to pat us down over it. And when we were nearly late for our flight. They also made me take off my shoes, and this lady was being so rude to me, like demanding I do all this without even being without even without even a little bit of kindness in her voice. Like, she was just being a jerk about it. And when my mom decided she wanted to go use the bathroom, no, you can't do that. And we planned to eat breakfast there. Lucky for me, I had a breakfast sandwich on the way. Also, my uncle who tried to drive us there, and his GPS was failing to get us to the airport. Yeah. It was taking us all around the area instead of getting us to the airport. Eh. um, I think next time I might try and get one of those like hidden disability thingies, like the lanyard or a pin or something, just to just maybe that'll change the experience next time I go on a flight or something. Because this experience was horrible. But the one in Orlando, where, Disney is, you know, that experience was a lot better. They were nice, kind, respectful. They know how to treat somebody with a hidden disability. Anyway, so back to Disney. We get to Orlando because, the flight, it was fine. It went well, outside of like a few crying kids on the plane, but you can't do anything about that. It's annoying, but what can you do? Parents have to fly with their kids, and it's not their fault that their kids cry. That's it. I understand that. So, we get to we literally get to the parks. Well, not the parks yet, but we get to Orlando. And it takes us a while to get our freaking luggage. Like, I get it. There's a lot of luggage. It was a full flight both ways. Like, yeah, we were on a full flight both ways. So, there was also the occasional time on one of the flights where I kept getting my seat jerked, which annoyed me, but it wasn't constant, so I didn't say anything. So, I think it was just the person behind me just shifting, or, just like maybe they were sitting one way and then they chose to sit another way or something. I don't know. And that was when it was like a kid behind me. So a kid could sit in different ways on a chair like that. You get it. Anyway, so anyway, we get on the Mears bus because and we get to the Old Key West Resort, which is a very nice place. Very, very nice. Like, you're treated like an actual like queen, princess, prince, king, all that. So we get there and we are doing our thing, and we our room's not ready yet because my mom needed a scooter there at Disney, so I decided to go into Olivia's cafe and change into a swimsuit and then hit up the pool because I was I just wanted something to do, so I just changed into a swimsuit and hit up the pool. Because why not hit up the pool? It's a Mickey shaped pool with a sandcastle slide. You can actually look these things up on their website, but on the Disney website, by the way. Old Key West Resort. Anyway, it was a very nice place. Very, very nice. Anyway, so we go to Disney Springs later that day. But anyway. Well, after I get out of the pool because, thunder and lightning was starting, but no rain yet. I ask where to go to get to the room because our room was ready. So, I'm given the wrong directions to go. And then I walk around pretty much like half the resort. And yeah. And then then a cast member had to give me a ride to the room because I didn't know where I was going. Yeah, I was told, just follow the path. Um, yeah, I assume, like, I was told, oh yeah, just follow the path. And they didn't tell me which way to go, right or left. And as I decided to go to the path on the right, because that looked like a path, and the other thing didn't, and the bridge did not look like a path to me. I followed the path, not the bridge, which I was supposed to be following. So, and then as I was turning left throughout most of it, I kept turning left, and then I got lost. And but I dropped my phone. Ow. But my wrist just bent and it hurt. Anyway, so, I had to get driven on one of those little cart thingies all the way back, all the way to all the way to the actual place I was supposed to be. And, yeah. I was told somebody was supposed to help me get there. Yeah, nobody exactly helped me get there until the lady on the cart. And keep in mind, I'm still in a swimsuit and water shoes. So, that's what I was working with here. A swimsuit and water shoes. That's what I was walking with. And that's all I was wearing. Oh yeah, and my hair in a high ponytail, you know? And then it starts to pouring, and then it starts pouring rain. It starts to rain, pouring rain. And my mom's just standing outside with her phone as I had called her because I didn't know where I was. So, I was given improper directions, to be fair. Anyway, so we eventually get to the room and we enter inside and all that. And then we decide to go to Disney Springs because, we didn't really know how the water park thing worked and the free water park thing when you stay at a Disney hotel thing. We didn't know how that worked. And we decided to just hit up Disney Springs. We walk around, I do some shopping, and then we get back to the hotel room. We're locked out because the lock was on the room door was dying. And by the way, if you're ever at Old Key West Resort and you're staying in room 2610, that's where we were. So, yeah. So, yeah, we got to get let in by some guy with the keys. And then we had to wait for some other guy to get there to fix the door. Because, yeah, we had to get in somehow. Anyway, so we do that. And we get in there. We get in the parks. Well, we get in the room. And then we just decide to go to bed because at that point, you get it. Like, you get it. Anyway, from there, the next day, we decided to hit up Epcot. Because, I love Marie, and I heard she was there. Apparently she wasn't. And the guest relations decided to just tell me, oh, Marie just likes to show herself off in the parade or whatever, and I'm just like, if Marie wanted to do that, she could always just do meet and greets and whatever. And then when we walked around we checked out the entirety of the Paris section. Yeah, nothing of Marie in there. So, that tells me that already told me they were weaning her out. And yeah, they're weaning her out. How could you wean out this. Like, look at her. Look at this face. How can you wean this out? She's beautiful, she's sassy, and she's lovable. And she's my kitty. And I love her. But anyway, she's going back over there where she was, where she's nice and soft. Anyway, but there's other things that happened. So we go to lunch at one of the places there. You know, we are at the parks. We're at Epcot. We go to lunch at Italy for some Italian food, because who doesn't like some yummy Italian food? Because, if it's delicious, then I'm here for it, Also, yes, I do have some Marie Squishmallows. I have this tiny one, scented, and I have this one. Yes, I do. Anyway, so, yeah, we do get get our food. Apparently, their idea of a chicken fettuccine alfredo is not cutting up chicken and cooking it into the alfredo. It's putting a grilled chicken on top of your alfredo, on top of your fettuccine alfredo. I mean, I still ate it because, Oh, yeah. And the chicken cost, and the tiny piece of chicken, it, literally cost, $20. So, but, I mean, it's Disney, I know, but, still, a tiny piece of chicken cost, $20, and by tiny, let me put this on a plushie for a moment. This is the size that I mean by tiny. It was, this big. That's what I mean by tiny. Yeah. That was tiny. Anyway, so we eat, and I put on some sunscreen. More sunscreen, right? This is where the fatal mistake happened. And by fatal, I don't mean, deadly fatal, but you know what I mean. But anyway. So, the sunscreen my mom gave me, mineral sunscreen. Yeah, my face didn't like that very much, as it decided to start swelling later that day. And yeah, my face swelled up, and by the morning it was so puffy and swollen, it was not, no. Everything just felt like everything was so swollen and tight. It was not, no. Just, no. I don't know what in that sunscreen I'm allergic to, but I'm allergic to something in that sunscreen. Anyway, so we handle that, and so my mom goes to get a Benadryl once we're back at the hotel room, and a lizard runs in. Yeah, up the wall, into the curtains, hides there. So when she goes to get the Benadryl, she asks the concierge office, what do we do about a lizard in the room? And they send pest control. So I take the Benadryl and I stay awake watching the pest control catch the lizard. I will post in a community page what happened, the lizard in the container that he was caught in. And yeah, because lizard. Anyway, so the lizard in the hotel room was caught, taken outside, put in the bushes. That's that. Anyway, And we also went. Then we went. Then the next day, my face was puffed even more. We went to the ER. Well, technically, we went to an immediate care first, but they didn't take my insurance, so we went to the ER because it did take my insurance, and because we weren't gonna be paying $500 just to get an allergic reaction fixed. Hell no. We wanted to spend that $500 on Disney stuff and other important matters afterwards, you know? And that's what we wanted to spend our money on. So, yeah, after the ER stuff in the morning, we decided to hit up Hollywood Studios. And, this is where more things go wrong. My face is, of course, less swollen now after a Benadryl, and of course, I fell asleep for a bit because, Benadryl does that. And I also had taken two Zyrtex that morning because, let's be real here, I needed that. Anyway, so my face looked normal for the most part. There was still a bit of swelling around my mouth area, but I looked mostly normal, you know? So we get there, and also I'm pretty sure the mailman came by her the mailbox. We'll worry about that later. Anyway, so we get to Hollywood Studios. I asked my mom for the phone, like her phone, because our tickets were on her phone. And she decides to hear, instead of please give me the phone, she decides to hear, run over my toes with the scooter by backing up. Yeah, she runs over my toes. I'm gonna show you this with my sock on. You don't get to see my toes. Like, she ran over these toes right here. These toes. With the scooter. Right foot. Yeah, you're not gonna see my toes. No. People would some people would like that, and we're not doing that. No. So you're seeing it through my sock. Anyway. So yeah, and so we go into the first aid section because it was nearby, and two, yeah, don't recommend getting your toes run over by a scooter. That that hurts. A scooter with a full-grown adult in it, that hurts. So I get my toes looked at. They're not broken, thankfully, but I'm given some ice. The ice is put on my toes. It chill with it there, and eventually, and then it starts pouring. It starts pouring rain again, and so we just chill there as we watch everybody else in the park just start to freak out and panic because, that's just what happens. They all just start freaking out and panicking, trying to get to shelter because they don't want to get, you know, they just don't want to get stuck in the pouring rain. So, yeah. And from there, what happens is we wait. Once the rain's mostly gone, we head out. And I'm given a wheelchair, by the way. So I got to see how other people live, which I do not see as a bad thing. It's not bad to see how other people get to live. Like, if you're watching this and you're in a wheelchair, I got to see how you guys live. And trying to go up ramps and trying to go up things. Yeah, that was the biggest struggle. I had to push myself around. So, yeah. Got to see how other people lived. So, I guess I have a bit more understanding for people in wheelchairs now. So, if you're a wheelchair user, respect. Respect. Even though you're probably used to it by now, but respect. Now, I spend my day in the park like that, and I do some more shopping, you know, and it's like raining like on and off because, yeah, and so I'm wearing like one of those like rain poncho thingies. Mine's orange because we got it at a pumpkin farm. So yeah. Anyway, we're just going around like this. And no, we did not get to go to the characters section of this park. We only went to the shopping side. And yeah, and the second time we tried to go to this park, it was just way too crowded because there was the Halloween party stuff going on at Magic Kingdom, so everybody came here and yeah, it was too much for me, and then it was gonna rain again, and we didn't want to deal with that. We used our ticket, got in, and then left. I know it's a waste of a ticket, but what can you do? Anyway, so I paid for the photo pass, so we got all our photos, all of them. And anyway, so we we just do our thing, and we hit up other parks, and we meet a bunch of characters. My mom pretty much face plants in front of Cinderella's stepsisters at Magic Kingdom. I, of course, freaked out and ran over to her. And, yeah, the photo people helped her up because I couldn't. Because I'm not sturdy enough. So, yeah, she got pretty bruised up from that. That was very concerning. Very concerning. Like, but she's okay now. She's okay. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, so anyway, there's not much else to really say about what happened. But anyway, as we go on as as we're on the flight home, there's a lot of turbulence. It feels like we're on a roller coaster. Yeah. Anyway, the only time you could take off your seatbelts throughout that entire flight was if you had to go pee. So yeah. But we made it safely, and that's what matters. Anyway, that's the Disney trip and the vacation itself. So, and now I'm back in New York, as you could see by my fun wall and this 10-year-old poster. And I just hit the medals from like when I was like 8 years old. These medals are from when I was like 8 to 10 years old. So 2008 to 2010. Yeah. That's when those medals are from. That time period in my life. So yeah. Anyway. Anyway. I mean anyway. So anyway, and I will be 26 in November. So, and we're planning our next trip to Disney for 2027. And so I guess I'll tell you about that one then. See ya.